once again, here we come into May. Hopefully by the end of May we'll be a bit clearer as to when we can go back to Tongham, but I hope you've all been enjoying every session that you've had a go at, so thank you. Just be aware if you have any issues, low back pain, joint injuries, any conditions that may make you feel a bit susceptible when doing Pilates moves to injury, then please let me know so I can put alternatives in. Okay, so today hopefully you will have chosen one of the warm-ups from 1 to 4, and then we're going into our workout now. So the first one we're going to do is indeed the 100 or double or single knee fold, as you may know it. So for this you want to get those feet so that they are nicely aligned with the pelvis. So we get the heels in line with the sit bones, the knees in line with the hip bones, and then lengthen the neck. If you need a block or a cushion like I have there, just to raise you there, then please use it for this one. So from here, just gently roll that marble. Get that position of neutral, the position where the hip bones and the pubic bone are horizontally aligned as best as you can, and you have a slight low back arch. Relax your shoulders into the mat with the palms turned in or to the ceiling. And just start to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now from there, just try and let go of any tension in the back of the thighs, the front of the hips, or indeed your shoulders. So melt the shoulders into the mat. We're going to activate using our little hipster belt today. So just breathe in and pull it lightly into its 3rd notch. And then level 1, you're just going to lift one heel and very slowly float that knee over your hip. And that's where you stay. Level 2, you just lift a 2nd heel, so you're balancing on your toes, but no more than a little balance. And that really kicks that core in. So to make that a little bit harder, you would bring that 2nd leg up. But what you don't want to happen is the low back arch to be lost, so you don't want to imprint the spine. If you feel like you need to, or overly arch, come down again. Okay? So just maintaining that hold, breathing wide and full, trying to keep the tummy flattened. If you want to make it a little harder, you extend one leg and you hold it there. And if you want to make it any harder than that, you extend the other leg and hold it there. Or you just do a halfway house, or come back to here. The main important part of this move is keeping this area completely still, so nothing changes, and that depends on the load of your legs and how hard you're making it. So whilst you're there, tap your hands onto your shoulders and just do a few circles. So breathe in here, breathe out. So that will help you maintain your breathing through this move, so you don't end up holding your breath. And at any time, if you feel your tummy's doming or you're not breathing, then put one foot down. In fact, if you're working with one leg in the air, then just put that one down and go for the other one for a little while. So all of those levels. Then just rest those arms out to the side of you. And just hold that position just a little bit longer if you can. If not, always come out of that movement. Put the heel down again if you need to. And then we're all going to come out of it. So just go into a nice full body stretch for a moment. Take a few deep breaths. That is purely for the core, that exercise. You will be using your hip flexors obviously to keep you up, but it's mainly about the core. So So we've just mobilised the shoulders a little bit more. So what we're going to do now is just breathe in and take those arms over the head. Now from there it's harder to maintain neutral. We're going to do chicken wings. So I want you to align those heels again. Keep the arms where they are for now, but now try rolling the marble. And you'll find it's a little bit harder. So what you want to do is to try and find the neutral that you think is correct, and make sure that your breastbone is softened down, and that may make you lift your arms a bit, but that's okay. Take a few breaths now, let go through the legs. Breathe in and activate the core, and then just settle the arms out to the side of you, ready. So keeping that complete neutral in the lower body and the alignment of knees, hips and heels. Squeeze your elbows towards your waist on an out breath, and then float them back up again. So you breathe out to squeeze, breathe in to raise back up. What you don't want to do is bring those arms right down unless you've got your hands in contact with the floor throughout the whole range. I can't do that, almost, but not quite. So you just come down as far as you can without your hands doing this. Okay, so you need to keep them flat against the floor as much as possible. Really squeeze under those armpits. Just try and keep that going, squeeze, and try not to let the ribs come up here. Try and soften that breastbone, keep them down. Breathing in as you rise, breathing out as you come down. So really squeezing like you're bursting a balloon under each arm. And squeeze again. And then just do 3 more. Squeeze and release. 2 and release. Last one. Breathing out. Release. Take the arms overhead again, full stretch, bring the arms over like this and then wrap them around your upper body and just draw the elbows down so it's parting your shoulder blades, and then just tilt your head to your right, just dropping the left shoulder down, turn the head slightly right and then down. A little bit of a stretch there. Come back to centre. Breathe in, turn a little bit, drop the opposite shoulder, the right shoulder, look down and just get that bit of a stretch in this area. And then release it. So shake the arms. We're going to do one that lots of people teach now. The clam, the good old clam. It's a really good exercise for stability around the pelvis. So these muscles that support you when you stand on one leg, like you do a lot in Anne-Marie's class, they help with your balance and your stability around your pelvis, in walking and in running, and generally in helping people with low back pain to stabilise around this area as well. So we're going to bring the knees up as if you've just fallen off that chair sideways, so you're all angles, 90-degree angles. Then lift the waist up, lift your chin, drawing your underneath arm back a bit to make sure you have a nice long straight spine. Everything lifted from underneath here. Now relaxing the legs before you start, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then when you're ready, just breathe in and activate that belt. And then we're going to open and close. Now for this one, you don't need to breathe out, breathe in particularly at any particular time. You just need to keep it a constant flow without the waist dropping on the floor. Okay, so if you want to stick at this level, just keep with this exercise. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you just lift both feet up and you carry on going. So don't let the waist drop, just keep the underneath leg lifted as well, and that starts to kick in these muscles too. So it's just keep breathing. Now this one is an exercise that you do to fatigue. Some of you might find you feel that build up of lactic acid really quickly, others you'll be able to go forever. So just go with how you're feeling, we won't overdo it today. If you're not feeling challenged yet, then open, extend the leg in the air, bend the knee again so the toes touch, and then bring it down. So you open, kick, down, close. And just do that as well, and that just makes it a little bit more challenging. Remember, you can keep with any level that I offer, the one that's right for you, the one that enables you to do the exercise best, really, with good technique. So if you want to keep going with that one, do. If not, you may want to come back down to this. And if you don't want to keep the legs in the air, of course, you can pop them down and finish off like this. Okay. So let's just do 3 more. Keep breathing, because it does make you breathless after a while, and I'm not giving you an out breath, in breath on a particular stage of the move there. Now relax, tuck the knees up, a little slap of the thigh or rub of the thigh and the leg. Get your breath back if indeed you're a little bit breathless from that. It might just be that I'm talking, that makes me a bit more breathless. And then we're going to pop ourselves up and go to the other side. So we're lengthening out again, bringing the knees up in line with the bottom of the pelvis, the 90-degree angle at the knee joint and the hip joint. Moving that underneath arm back so it helps you lift the chin. Lift the waist up so you have got that gap. That's what we call neutral. Okay, I'm just going to slide slightly differently. So once there, relax through your legs. Get your lateral breathing going in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in, pull in your belt, and then open and close again. Now start with this one because we did on the other side. And that's the level 1, as you know. And then a little bit more quickly this time, you can go up to the 2nd level if you want, or stick with the 1st level. There's a nice constant flow of movement here, so it's not juddery. You might find you're stronger at one part of the move than the other. It might be harder at that end of range bit here than it is when you first start to lift. If you want to add the little bit harder version, you extend, bend, close. So it's open, extend, bend the knee and close. And just keep going with that at that level if that suits you. Good. So please rest whenever you need to. Just go with what's right for you. Keep the waist up, keep breathing, try not to let the tummy just relax. If you need to come down from the highest level, then come to this one. Keep going. And again, if you want to come down a level still, keep going. And it's absolutely fine to go up through the levels and then back down anyway, and not just choose one level to do. So you give yourself a little bit more challenge, and then you give yourself a little bit less challenge, and that helps you to keep going for longer perhaps. So that waist is still lifted, you're still breathing. Just do 3 more. Keep breathing wide and full. And then relax. Tuck the knees up. Rub that thigh or slap it if you prefer. Good. So from there we're going to do a rolling exercise. Now if rolling is not right for you because of disc issues or osteoporosis or pregnancy at a later stage, I'm not sure anyone's pregnant at a later stage in the group at the moment, I want you to sit up like this, hold the back of your thighs and tip off, so you're breathing out to go here and breathing in to come up. And that's all you're doing, but it does help you work through the bottom of the pelvis and tip it correctly, so you always tip off the sit bones and you're using your tummy muscles, okay? So that's the one you will do. If not, we're going to roll. So we're going to do the crab today, which means you cross your ankles and you catch the feet from underneath. Now, if that's not comfortable for you, hold on here, hold on to your shins to do the job. If that's not comfortable, you can do rolling back, just holding the legs like this. So we're all going to sit up, hold here, or on the shins, or here, ready for either rolling or that tipping back one. So everybody, pull the shoulders back and down, lift the chin, relax your legs, breathe in and activate the core, and then we'll start with the crab, or I'll start with the crab. So come into a hover if you can, unless you're doing that half roll up, and you're literally going to tip off the sit bones and drop the chin, and you just lengthen the legs behind you and you bend them to come back up, and you're trying, if you can, to come back up to seated neutral. So you're lifting, you're not starting and finishing there, you're lifting right up. So you can breathe out here and breathe in here. Now after a few, and I think I've taught this before, you need to cross the lead leg over. So you swap the one that's in front and put it behind like so, and then carry on. But I know there's quite a few of you that like a boomerang. So we're going to take it one level up today, where you cross the ankles. Keep going with the other ones, the other options if you prefer. This one, we're leaning here, shoulders down, relaxing through the thighs, breathe in and activate the core. You breathe out as you take those legs over. You uncross and cross them here as you breathe in, and then back you come, up you come, and down go the heels, and the arms go back. You breathe in, breathe out. Uncross and cross on your in breath, breathe out to come up and back down. And you just keep going with this move. Uncross and cross, lift, up, place that down. Keep going, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Keep going if that's the one you want. If you want to stick to just rolling back, you can. Just try not to fling your legs when you roll back. Keep them in exactly the same position as they were. Like so. And then crab, of course, you've crossed the other ankle over. You may want to cross back to the original one now, and just do a couple more on each side. If you weren't warm before, you will be now. And then keep going, last bit. For those who've been doing this one, you may have found you're able to get that little bit lower each time. And then we're going to finish. So just relax there. So you may want to lie on your back for a moment. Our next move is in fact in a seated position, but just go down for a nice stretch. Take a few breaths. Give those front of hips a little bit of a stretch as well, and the glutes here. So just let that leg relax. It's only a feel-good stretch. It doesn't need to be held very long. So just swap over. Relax the knee joint on that straight leg. And then it's up to you how you come up to seated. You may need to roll on your side to do it, or you may lever yourself up like this. Now I'm going to show you the next one. This is a teaser. You may decide you want a cushion behind your bottom just to lean back onto slightly. It needs to be a soft cushion in this case, or you may not need one at all. But what we're going to start with is working on the front of our thighs. So what we're doing is lifting up tall, feet hip width apart in line with the knees and the knees with the hips. Hold on behind your thighs and just draw the shoulders down. Now start to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let that relax, that body. When you're ready, breathe in and activate your core, your little belt. Sit slightly back and just balance on your toes. And you're just going to lift one leg and then lower it. You breathe out, you breathe in, and you just alternate. Now if you want to make that a little bit harder, you hover so you have your feet off the floor. I can hear my knees grinding. A little bit harder still is to have both legs lifting at the same time. And if you're a bit tight in the back of your thighs, this one's going to feel a bit awkward, and that's when you might think, well, I'm just going to stop and get a cushion to lean on. Alright, because you can't fully straighten the knee joint from this position when your hamstrings are a bit tight. Stretch number 1 is really good for your lower body. So a little harder would be to let go and then hold on again. Breathe out, breathe in. And what you can do is keep going with this or not. You may want the feet back down, you may want to go back to single legs. But if you're wanting to add a little bit through the arms, raise the arms so they're here. Or harder still, raise the arms so they're here. Now keep going and I'll show you how that looks sideways. So if you're getting up to here, you're looking like the teaser, or half of it anyway. Oops, I'm slightly wonky on the mat there. So it really is harder once you let go. Then you could decide whether you can not get hold of the legs again and just do 3 more, or you may wish to have hold of the legs, or you may wish to go back to singles. It's about trying to keep that body straight. And then when you're ready, last one, relax. Now, I'm just going to have a little stretch from here. So I want you to turn onto your tummy and just bring one leg up behind you and ease that towards your bottom. If you can't reach, turn on your side, bend the underneath leg up, bring this knee right up and then pull it back that way and you will get a front of thigh stretch. Okay, so that's 2 options there. And this one's just a bit more balanced. Now roll over to the other side if you're doing it on your side, and if you're flat down, just bring that leg up behind you. Okay. And release. So I want all of you now to come onto your tummies. We're going to be working on our upper back extension and our glutes. We're doing the swan dive. And I think I said before, the swan dive gets taught a little bit differently by different people, but all are okay. The question is, are you working the right parts of the body? And it's here and here we're focusing on. So take those hands out into a capital E. Turn your heels out and your toes in. Tip the tailbone back so that it lengthens the spine and lifts the tummy. And then relax. Just get your lateral breathing in place, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And then look to the mat. You're just going to breathe, well, you're going to relax everything in the upper body and the glutes. Breathe in and activate the core. Now float the chest off the mat without pushing too hard into the floor. Now push into the floor a bit, and then now lift up onto the hands if you want to come that far. Breathe in, pull your tummy in a bit, and then down you go. Slide the shoulder blades into your back pocket. Squeeze the bottom and lift the legs behind you. So that's an out breath, in breath. Out breath, breathe in here, in breath, and then out breath to go down. Breathe in to prepare, relax the shoulders, breathe out to lift the legs. Okay, so you just keep going with that move, like a little bit of a seesaw. It's not how high you come up, it's how your body reacts, it's how far back you can go without hunching your shoulders or pushing through your tummy. So it's just like so. Now, if you struggle with two legs being lifted, lift one leg only. Then lift the other one, and then come to the upper body. Let go of those glutes when you get here, so you're not tensing your bottom. Slide those shoulders down every time, and then just keep that movement. So you always float the chest first, keep the head as still as you can, and so that you extend from your upper back and not push straight away like this, because then it's lower back and all the effort's in your arms and not in your upper back. So curl. I think I've said before, I don't find it that easy. So I haven't got great range of movement here, but it's a very good move for me. And I've definitely become a lot better at it than I used to be. And that's just keep on trying to extend backwards. That all contributes to lovely upright posture. Shoulders down every time. And then we're going to stop. Just hold it there or there. Just hold it there. Slide those shoulders down. Let the buttocks go. Just stay there for a moment and feel where you're feeling it. And it shouldn't be in your low back. It should be higher than that. And then from there, relax. Because we're going to work those buttocks again, but a bit harder this time. In fact, we're going to work all the way around here as well as the core. And we're going to stabilise with our shoulder girdle. So what we're doing is a stretch first. So sit back here and relax. And I've said before, so I know I repeat myself, but if you don't like a child pose in that way, you can lie on your side and hug your knees in, or you can just stay up on your elbows and go back as far as you're comfortable without it causing any low back pain or knee issues. And then from here, I want you to come down. I'm just going to sort my trousers and my top out. I'm sure you all have the same problem. Right, we're going to come onto our elbows and stick the bottom in the air, slide the shoulder blades back and down. Now just let go of the front of the thighs this time. Get your breathing in place. And when you're ready, breathe in at the top of that in-breath, pull in the belt and lengthen one leg along the floor. And then you're just going to literally lift the leg up, cross it over so it touches the other side of the floor of your other leg, and then up and over. Now think of that NHS rainbow. You're drawing that with your big toe. So you lift up and over to the pot of gold, and then back to where you came from. So just breathe out, breathe in. And it just works all the muscles around the glutes and the side of the hip and the inner thigh. So mainly all the hip muscles. Apart from your hip flexors, they don't work very much. So just breathe out, breathe in. Keep drawing that rainbow. Don't let your shoulders hunch, so pull them away from your ears. Keep the tummy pulled in, so remember your little belt's done up. Okay, now just do a couple more of those. Nice rainbows. Without your spine moving, bend that knee in. So just sit back again, stretch out the glutes for a moment. And then back we come into the on the elbows position, slide the shoulder blades down, get those bottoms in the air and just relax through the thighs a bit. Then breathe in, tighten the belt, push the other leg out, slide those shoulders back again, and then once you're ready, you're just going to breathe out and breathe in. So just coming over as far as you comfortably can, and then back to the start position. So it's just literally all action to one side and then back to neutral, not going out to the other side. So keep the tummy pulled in, slide the shoulders back, try and pin them together if you can. Breathing out, breathing in. Try and keep your weight even on your elbows. And you can do this on the hands. The only thing is, it's harder to keep neutral in your spine. It's harder to keep your low back from dipping. And if it dips, you're not working from the glutes. So it's better to be done here. And those of you with sore thumbs and wrists, this is a bit better, I'm sure. Okay, so let's just do 3 more. Breathing out, breathing in, keeping your tummy pulled in. And then last one. Good. Okay. Bring it back in and go into that lovely child pose again. Just relax. If you're comfortable like this, have your arms down by your side to give them a rest as well. If you're not comfortable, have that cushion here, or be on your head here, and you can then still have your arms down by your side so you're not leaning on them. So from there, let's have a little stretch from there. We do what I call the cat-cow. So just basically don't dip here or hunch here to start. Just slide the shoulder blades down into your back pockets. Soften your elbows, relax through your legs, tip the tailbone back slightly. Now you're on all fours here, so level 1 would be just to arch and then gently dip and look forward. So you breathe out and you breathe in. If you want to make that a little harder, move those hands forwards and then you're curling forwards, dropping the hips down, pushing through the hands and curling back. And you can start to move a bit further back over your heels, a bit further forward over your hands. Don't drop the hips very low if you struggle with your low back, so keep it to about here. Alright, so you don't go into that bit. Just keep going. And those of you who like a bit more, up we come. And you lift up on those toes. You curl your body weight forward. Drop to the knees and look forward. Slide the shoulder blades down. Drop the chin and then up you go again. Rounding the spine. Drop the heels as you tip that tailbone into the air. So up onto the toes. Tuck the tailbone between your legs. Curl your body forward. Drop down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Chin to chest. Up you come. Round your spine. Then tip the tailbone up, drop the heels. I just want you to choose whatever works for you and stick with it. And if you've done enough now, then just rest. Okay, so I'll carry on just a couple more. So that's just simply the same movement in the spine without the loading through your arms and legs. and then we'll finish with the one we started, which is just an up and a down. Okay, so breathing needs to be, you need to breathe, but you don't need to worry too much about when you're doing the big versions of that. So then again, sit back and relax. And just come up, take a few breaths, and then rise up. This is where my upper body might disappear. I want you to look at the legs, and I want you to take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, so not as we would stand in Pilates normally, and then turn them out slightly. And I want you to do 1, 2, 3, lift a leg. 1, 2, 3, lift a leg. Now pull your tummy in and then lift. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Try not to let the tummy relax, just keep pulling. It doesn't require the same cueing that you do in a Pilates move, but we're just finishing off with a little bit of movement through those thighs. Good. So, keep breathing. Good. Right. Just stop there. Bring your feet together. Get your breath back. So you're now standing tall. Take a few deep breaths. Take the feet hip width apart. Sit the bottom down and then gently curl forwards. Let your arms hang if you're comfortable with that. And just breathe where you are. If you're not comfortable with it, hold on like this instead. And keep the knees bent. Fill the lungs. And then gradually straighten the legs. You're going to come up to standing, so pull that core in one more time. Don't need to hold on to if you don't need to. Uncurl your spine and then bring yourself slowly up to standing. Draw your shoulder blades back and down. And thank you very much.